Crypto Mike here with the mic check 1212. Is this thing on? How are you guys doing today? So I wanted to do a video on Ripple, and a few other things that I found on Twitter regarding Twitter CEO stepping down, Jack Dorsey. We all know who he is, of course, and also Cardano. So let's go. Now go ahead and follow me on Twitter at XXMikeCheckXX. Link will be in the description. Also, go ahead and join the Telegram group. I plan to get it up and running again. It's Crypto Community Channel Public on Telegram. All right, and the link will be in the description. Check it out. Okay, so you guys, I've been avoiding XRP probably about the last year since the lawsuit. I believed it was going to be a while before anything really happened, and you know, so far I've been correct. But I do think, and I've been getting requests to do a Ripple video and my thoughts on it and what's going on. I haven't really checked out the lawsuit too much. I know a lot of the XRP army is very dedicated to, you know, researching and just sifting through everything and, you know, informing each other. So that's something I'll be checking into a little more. Now there's a few people, there are people out there who are, you know, prominent voices who think that there possibly will be an SEC settlement sometime in December. So that could happen. It's possible. I don't know, you know, where the information for that comes from. So I'm going to be very careful and, you know, thinking that it's going to happen. BitBoy, I think, is the main voice out there who has, you know, he has about 1.5 million subscribers, 1.5 subscribers on YouTube. And he, as a self-proclaimed leader of the XRP army or whatever he thinks he is, he says he is thinking that mid-December the settlement will be introduced. So my thing is, okay, it could, but I don't know if it's going to happen in December. You know, I have no idea. But the price chart is kind of gearing up for something. Price chart is something we should be looking at, regardless of XRP's price playing games with us most of the time. It's a very, very difficult chart to chart if you're doing any kind of, like, even daily charting. I mean, you want to zoom out to the weekly, to be honest. That's really where you want to look, because to me, what it looks like here is we had this big rise, then we have a valley, and we had it coming up, but it still hasn't reached the all-time high. Okay, now back here, I'm going to zoom out. Whoop. Or zoom in, I guess. We'll zoom in back to 2017. It looks the same. It just kind of went sideways, and then it kind of started going up, went down a little more, which is probably we're in this section right here, in my opinion. XRP has been down long enough. I'm hearing good things about the lawsuit, that they're just uncovering more and more that makes Ripple's case more favorable. And so that's where this whole thing about maybe it'll get settled soon comes from. And so another rumor too is that we are basically hearing about rumors that the SEC is eyeing Cardano, which doesn't make too much sense, and it would definitely be an overreach of the SEC to try to mess with Cardano, because they're mostly based out of the United States, outside of the United States. So, you know, it just, to me, it wouldn't make sense, but it also too, you know, it would look bad. It's going to look bad for the SEC if they settle with Ripple. You know, if they don't win this lawsuit, it's going to look like the SEC is pretty much losing power. You know, and that to me, that makes sense. Okay, but back here, you see, it was really blowing up. All right, and it was going sideways for quite a while. We can even zoom out back here. Okay, because this was the first one, mid-December, in March. All right, it went crazy, went nuts. I mean, we can barely even see these compared to this. this candle. All right, so we had one blast, which I'm kind of thinking it might do the same thing. We might have one blast upwards, which is exactly what XRP does, guys. Any kind of like candles that we've seen lately, really aren't that much compared to what it does when basically the okay is given to buy. The biggest rush upward that we had recently was back in April. And that was actually after the lawsuit. I think back here, December 14th, December 21st, that was the lawsuit. And we saw a big red candle, and we were hoping it would kind of stop right here, and it kept going. And guess what it did? It faked us out. XRP loves to fake us out, guys. Now, where are we? We are actually on the weekly. We're starting to bounce in between this. It's the 100. It's the 50. I'm sorry, hold on. It's the 20 and the 50 moving day average. Now, if it stays above this 50-day moving average and it bounces in between, then we're looking at gains from there. However, it could even come down and fall into this transition right here. We have this support, and it's basically creating an ascending triangle right here. All right. However, this is a very strong support right here. I wouldn't even doubt that it could wick down, hit this, maybe even fake us out a little, because XRP loves to fake us out. There's something special about XRP, guys. Okay. Now I'm talking about making life-changing wealth. Okay. If you start stacking now, and I'm not telling you to do it. This is not financial advice, okay? Because I'm not a financial advisor. So if you start stacking now, this might be the perfect time to start dollar cost averaging, which is what I'm going to plan to do from now on. I'm going to start taking profits from other coins, and since this one has been so down this bull cycle, which it actually hasn't. It's still, 300% up from a year ago, something like that. It's still doing okay compared to some others, but it's for the potential it has. If they do announce that there will be a settlement, I expect this to be relisted on most of the exchanges that it was on, that it got delisted of. And also too, more volume will come in. Americans will be able to buy it again. That will be the catalyst. And then maybe the second catalyst will come when regulations are announced. Okay? So yeah, I think it's smart, in my opinion. I think it's smart to start looking at XRP again as a viable option for life-changing wealth. Okay? For what the plans are, they are not going to go straight to decentralization, okay, in my opinion. If they were, then I would, in my opinion, AMP will be the one they will choose if they want decentralization. This is still, very highly connected to banks. There's no way around that. You can't argue against that. Ripple is very connected to banks. Okay, so yes, in my opinion, it is centralized, in a way. Basically meaning that the banks are the ones who want this one to succeed. Banks tend to get what they want. Now, of course, the last few years, they've been kind of losing their power. And you can tell because they're getting desperate. And, the banks don't know what to do. The Federal Reserve doesn't know what to do. Either way, whatever they do, the system collapses. So in the last-ditch effort, this will be the transition. XRP, in my opinion, will be the transition from centralization to decentralization. It's not going to be, it's not going to happen in one day. We are not going to go into a decentralized world, which will be fantastic when it happens. But it's not going to happen overnight. Okay, so there needs to be a transition, and I think XRP, Stellar, those are the transitions. Okay. And they're definitely not dead. XRP is still in the top 10. After all this lawsuit, it still hasn't made its way out of the top 10, meaning there is a ton of money behind it still, a lot of faith from big money, okay? Even though, it hasn't been utilized as much as it's supposed to be. So, yeah, this lawsuit was a wrench in the gears, basically. However, it did give us a great opportunity to buy cheap, very cheap. I mean, we were skyrocketing, and then all of a sudden the lawsuit happens. That was when it dumped, and whoever wanted to buy, bought, and it got bought up real quick. See, it went straight down, and then within a month, maybe a month and a half, it was right back to where it was, and then it shot up again back in April. Okay, so yeah, there's something going on there. There's not a whole lot of resistance ahead anymore, and we are creating some sort of ascending triangle, which is a very bullish pattern. Now let's talk about the 3-tap rule. When you see 3 taps on an ascending triangle like this, you see there's 1 tap right there. This one didn't quite come down to where they wanted it to, but it did create a double bottom when this came and tapped again. However, it hasn't tapped one more time. Once it does that last tap could be mid-December, which exactly lines up, with my drawing here. The support here and the support of the ascending triangle could come down, could even fake us out, but by then this blue line will be up here. It could even fake us out a little. We could come down to 77 cents. All right, that's what I'm thinking. Dollar cost averaging, in my opinion, is a smart thing to do. If you are looking to make money in this crypto market, it's almost like a for sure thing, in my opinion. Now, I wouldn't say put your whole portfolio in it. No. I think a well-diversified portfolio makes more sense. Okay. That's why I still have a lot of XRP, but I'm going to start dollar cost averaging again. Okay. Now, also too, I wanted to show you this.
The CEO here at Ripple. It's an honor and really a privilege for us to be one of the founding members of the International Association for Trusted Blockchain Applications. This really is a pivotal time for the distributed ledger technology industry. It's critical that as an industry, we come together and engage with regulators and with governments globally. The work we're seeing with the European Commission is pivotal and can be leading in this effort. We're thrilled to be involved and look forward to being a leading participant.
Okay, so you see that he basically had, a little light up board behind him. Okay, and to me, what that said was 22.2. So was that okay? Now this is kind of conspiratorial thinking, I guess, but I always do think these thoughts, and I don't think I should keep them to myself. So when I see it, at first I didn't know. A couple years ago when I saw that, I didn't know. But however, they are definitely under non-disclosure agreements, as banks definitely are with their partnerships. They always are, and it's a very big deal when it comes to big money. Okay, and with XRP, we are talking big money. So when I see 22.2 behind Brett Garlinghouse, what is the meaning of it? Obviously, there was a meaning. You can't deny that. What did it mean? Well, nowadays I'm thinking, since we're so close to it, 22.2, the year 2022, easy. That's when XRP will shine. The payments narrative will come together, and it will be in the spotlight sometime during 2022. Now, hopefully, in my opinion, I think that there's a possibility it could be in Q1, okay, or it could be sometime during summer. But wouldn't it be awesome if the very beginning of 2022, XRP was skyrocketing and making you a fortune? Now, it's a possibility. 2022, in my opinion, is going to be even more wild than the last 2 years. Okay, with all this unprecedented printing of money in the Federal Reserve, easily, I think we could see cryptos go up much further, and the banks will do their thing and pump XRP like mad. I think they are accumulating, and they have been especially ever since the lawsuit. Okay? So, who knows? But I do think 2022, and I think Brad Garlinghouse was giving us a clue, an easy clue. Looking in retrospect, we'll see. By the end of next year, we'll definitely know if that's what he was hinting at. Okay? So, yeah, I do think they do have a lot of announcements to release, okay, with partnerships and usage and stuff like that. Do I think the Shane Ellis theory is going to play out? Not really, no. I think it's going to slowly grind up just like all the other cryptos. I don't think it's going to blast off unless there is an extreme event that causes it to blast off. Okay. Now, also, too, I wanted to show you Cardano's founder. He is awesome. I really like and respect Charles Hoskinson because he calls it like it is. He speaks his mind. He's real, and you don't get a lot of that in the crypto space. To be honest, you don't. He's professional, but he's very loose and relaxed with his words, and so I think for that reason, a lot of people do not like him because he doesn't exactly fit the apparent narrative that's going around in the crypto space, which is fine. But yeah, Cardano is a serious project. Okay, so Charles Hoskinson just tweeted this out. Seriously, are they just trolling now, printing massive sums of money out of thin air and destroying our supply chains somehow causes inflation? Wow, here's their next headline: doctors puzzled that drinking leads to alcohol related medical problems. Okay, so he's being sarcastic there, but it's true. I mean, The Economist here, which we know is run by, I think it's owned by the Rothschilds, they're lying to us straight up. The sharp increase in inflation over the past year has blindsided many economists. Well, yeah, the ones who were running with the narrative that you want to keep the public out of this big secret, which is basically the economy's going downhill. And yeah, I mean, no, the economy wasn't great during Trump. It's not great during Biden. All right. So, yeah, inflation is going to run rampant. Remember, Jack Dorsey even tweeted it out a few months ago. He said hyperinflation is going to change everything. I believe a billionaire like Jack Dorsey, who has his hand in pretty much heavy in our financial system, our new financial system with Bitcoin, I would believe he knows what he's talking about. Okay, I can see the future as well. There will be hyperinflation. It might not be as bad as Venezuela, or it might. We do have a lot to lose as the United States, as one of the most powerful nations in the world. All right. So yeah, I do respect Charles Hoskinson. Cardano is going to be a great long-term hold. If you have any now, not financial advice again, but I wouldn't sell it. That's something I just wouldn't sell. Because we saw how fast it rose, sharply, so sharply the price rose. If you got in at 7 cents or even, under 20 cents, congratulations. That was a really good buy, because you saw the potential and the future of Cardano. Okay, it's going to be a great long-term hold. So, also too, I wanted to show you this tweet here. Jack Dorsey steps down as CEO of Twitter. This is Jack's email to the Twitter team. And this was yesterday, I believe, on the 29th. Okay, it won't let me zoom in. There we go. Okay, he says, "Hello, team. After almost 16 years of having a role at our company, from co-founder to CEO, to chair, to executive chair, to interim CEO, to CEO, I decided it's finally time for me to leave. Why? Well, there's a lot of talk about importance of a company being founder-led. Ultimately, I believe that's severely limiting and a single point of failure. I've worked hard to ensure this company can break away from its founding and founders. There are 3 reasons I believe now is the right time. The first is Parag becoming our CEO. The board ran a rigorous process considering all options and unanimously appointed Parag. He's been my choice for some time given how deeply he understands the company and its needs. Parag has been behind every critical decision that helped him turn this company around. He's curious, probing, rational, creative, demanding, self-aware, and humble. He leads with heart and soul and is someone I learn from daily. My trust in him as our CEO is bone deep. The second is Brett Taylor agreeing to become our board chair. I asked Brett to join our board when I became CEO, and he's excellent in every way. He understands entrepreneurship, taking risks, companies at massive scale, technology, product, and he's an engineer. All of the things the board and the company deserve right now. Having Brett in this leadership role gives me a lot of confidence in the strength of our board going forward. You have no idea how happy this makes me. The third is all of you. We have a lot of ambition and potential on this team. Consider this. Parag started here as an engineer who cared deeply about our work, and now he's our CEO. I also had a similar path. He did it better. This alone makes me proud. I know that Parag will be able to channel this energy because he's lived it and knows what it takes. All of you have the potential to change the course of this company for the better. I believe this with all my heart. Parag is CEO starting today. I'm going to serve on the board through my term, which is May-ish, to help Parag and Brett with the transition. And after that, I'll leave the board. Why not stay or become chair? I believe it's really important to give Parag the space he needs to lead. And back to my previous point, I believe it's critical a company can stand on its own, free of its founder's influence or direction. I want you all to know that this was my decision and I own it. It was a tough one for me, of course. I love this service and company, and all of you so much. I'm really sad, yet really happy. There aren't any companies that get to this level, and there aren't many founders that choose their company over their own ego. I know we'll prove this was the right move. We'll have an all-hands meeting tomorrow at 9:05 Pacific to discuss it all. Until then, thank you for the trust you've placed in me and for the openness to build that trust in Parag and yourselves. I love you all. Jack. P.S. I'm tweeting this email. My one wish is for Twitter to be the most transparent company in the world. Hi, Mom. Okay. So that was his letter. It was a little long for me to read, but that was his letter to basically everyone. His team, but it was to the world, So, of course, Twitter is one of the biggest social media companies out there. It's definitely the hub for cryptocurrency and, all that's related to, social action or social whatever, social whatever. So, basically, I'll show you the guy who's now the CEO. I don't have a whole lot of thoughts on this quite yet. Besides that, there's always more than meets the eye, or at least was in the letter. This is the guy here, Parag Agrawal. I don't know how to say it, but he's the new CEO. Just out of nowhere, this is the new CEO. I don't even see he doesn't have his face up there. There he is. Okay, so we'll find out. We'll see, over time, we'll see kind of if Twitter changes, what'll happen, and I'm even more curious about where's Jack going. What's he gonna spend his energy on from now on? Most likely Square, maybe Square Crypto, Bitcoin, the Bitcoin wallets, Bitcoin wallet on Twitter, and there's also one thing that also came to mind for me. I used to do videos on this one blockchain called Xenon, and Square Crypto, there's too many clues that say Square Crypto might be involved or the creator of this blockchain, Xenon, ZNN. Now, Twitter CEO announces his resignation less than a week after the AlphaNet release, the serious AlphaNet on Xenon. All right, so that's one thing I'm thinking. There's a possibility he's going to go help, Square Crypto with its vision. And in my opinion, there is a chance that Square Crypto is involved with Xenon, which could be the next Bitcoin if that's what they're planning. So anyways, guys, that's what I wanted to show you. Please hit the thumbs ups. I need those thumbs ups. You can hit the thumbs down too. I can't see the thumbs down anymore, which I don't like, but that's what it is. So hit the thumbs and make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you're notified when I do videos. I'm going to be doing more and more videos. I'm getting back into the groove. All right, guys. So I appreciate your support and love you guys. All right. Crypto Mike out. Peace.